Over the past 2 years, I have been under quite a bit of long-term chronic financial and just geographic stress. We felt trapped in our location just based on the roads, traffic was horrible, and we didn't have a financial fallback in case an emergency happened. We moved here in hopes of a better future, and that didn't plan out. We recently moved to a different place in the same town. It's cheaper, in a better location, it's near a main artery, traffic is better, and we now have a financial buffer cushion when emergencies pop up. It's also quieter and more relaxed. We feel nurtured now as opposed to just constantly drained. However, this has also caused some weird reactions that I'm sure a lot of people have when they come out of a long-term stress that drags the stress and chaos on longer. Recovering from chronic stress is itself stressful. I figured I'd document it in a video so I can look it up next time I'm coming out of a chronically stressful situation, because I'm sure it'll happen again. Robert Sapolsky mentioned this in Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers, one of the leading books of its time on stress and anxiety. I also went into greater detail on my video called Cortisol, America's Drug of Choice. It's shown that rapid hormone changes can completely throw you off in terms of mood, alertness, and even in your immune system, even when it's something good that's happening. When your body's flooded with high levels of cortisol, over a long period of time, your body often stops working on long-term repair projects and focuses on keeping you from getting sick caused by your stress. Once the stress goes away, you will often get sick as your body has to figure out a new normal without that constant flood of cortisol and keep a balance between protecting you from being sick and focusing on long-term repair projects. I was also incredibly flaky and forgetful the first week in the new place. When you are pumped full of cortisol for a long time, you are always fairly focused, like drinking a ton of caffeine until you essentially burn yourself out and they get flaky, loopy, or slap happy. Once the cortisol's gone, it takes about a week, at least for me, for my alertness to get to the right level and intensity so I can remember everything I need to remember, and not be super clumsy while still enjoying not having my system pumped full of cortisol. Of course, my Asperger's also makes me more sensitive to this. Getting out of bed the first week took a massive amount of effort as well, as the wake-up juice cocktail in my brain was restabilizing and letting me wake up now that the high levels of cortisol weren't doing the work for it. Lastly, both me and my partner's moods were way out of whack. We found in the absence of anxiety, depression will take over. We would be moody and grouchy for no reason we couldn't shake, even though we should just be happy and thrilled about our new situation, but happiness doesn't work that way, nor does pleasure, as the body is trying to figure out how to adjust the hormone flowing through us. I would also have random panic attacks because that's what my body is known for so long. Or the body doses too much cortisol because it thinks it's too low, or the brain doesn't believe that the chronic stress is over. Sadly, because people don't understand this impact, often policy will be written that will undermine the hard work needed to get people out of bad situations. With a meager amount of welfare programs we still have, such as WIC and food stamps, the second people make it over a certain amount, the benefits are cut off. That actually ends up being a crucial point, and if you're just on the line of poverty and have your feet under you just barely, it just takes one misstep, one thoughtless financial action, one accident, or one piece of bad luck to topple you back into poverty, so they just spend their lives getting on and off government programs, and they can't figure out why. They work really hard to do so and are just trapped, and their drop in cortisol doesn't help in the least. And the biggest problem is no one has sympathy for someone recovering from chronic stress. They think, you're just doing okay now, so you don't have any excuse anymore. Lucky for me, messing up at work isn't bad, but in a high-stakes financial problem, it can be the difference between success and poverty. These are things to be aware of and be prepared for if your stress level suddenly drops. The stress ain't over till the hormones stabilize. Be careful and good luck.